Hello everyone. Hope so you all are doing good with your classes and with everything. Welcome to another video from PSN Solution. This time it's of Exp22 Excel chapter 10 HOE Commodities. Okay, so let's read the project description. It is saying that you are a financial analyst for a brokerage firm. Your manager wants you to analyze commodity sales. So data is among different several key data sources. You receive basic broker information through email from an access database, and you will need to retrieve real-time and execute trading information from the web. Okay, you do not want to simply copy and paste the data into the worksheet. You want to connect and transform data, okay, into the Excel. So this is the main task of our project, so that the constantly changing values are always up to date. You also want to create a data visualization. This is one of our tasks, to provide geospatial information and business dashboards. So this is what we need to do in our this project. This project include almost 11 steps, and let's start the first one. It is saying that you have to start Excel, download and open the file name Exp22 Excel chapter 10 Commodities. I already have downloaded it, and Creator has automatically added your last name to the beginning of the file name. There we go. This is the main file, and I will show you the other support file that you need while doing this project. This is the one, first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. You can download. You also have to download these 5 or 6 files along with your project to complete the project. Thank you so much. Let's start this by step number 2. You have a list of client information stored as a CSV file. You know there are different types of files, like one is text file, CSV file, SS database file, Excel file, Word file, and you want to use get and transform data to import the file, so information will update as the new clients are added. Use get and transform to import this file. Which one? So this is the file, and what we have to use? We have to use get and transform power query. Okay, go to the data tab, get and transform from file, and this is the CSV file that we have to look for. So it's in our database file, it's in our desktop, and what's the name of file? Ch10 H1 client info CSV. So this is the file, and let's import this one. You can see, load the data. We have to directly load the data. We don't need to do anything. Let's click the load. You can see that data is loaded in our laptop. Now what we have to do, it is saying that you have to rename the newly created worksheet clients. Okay, so this was sheet 1, and this is the newly created worksheet. We have to rename that sheet. I have told you several times in the other videos that how to rename a sheet. You can simply double click, you can right click also. Okay, you can right click, rename, and name the sheet. What's the name? Clients. Press enter. There we go. So this was our step number 2, and we are done with it. Now we are moving on to the step number 3 of our assignment, and it is saying that all commodity transactions are stored in access database. Okay, I was telling you that there are different types of file: access, CSV, Excel, Word. You will use the get and transform tool to import this data while maintaining a connection to the database. You want to use the Power Query editor to shape the data. Okay, we will do so. It is saying that use get and transform Power Query to import the transaction table from the, so this is the database file and this is the table in that file that we have to import. So access, it is clear from this statement that access database has more than one table. It may be 2, 3, 4 or whatever it is, we will see here. And but in this step we have to just import the transaction table. Okay, go to the data tab again, press the down arrow, from database. This time we have to import from the access database and go to the desktop, and this is the file. One second. Yes, transaction dot, just click the import. Now you can see that this is the transaction table and this is what we need to import. This is what we need to import, and we have to check the other things as well. Load the data. Okay, we have to directly load the data. We don't need to modify or transform this data. Okay, so just click load and it will be, transaction table will be loaded into a new worksheet and it has given the sheet name transactions. Okay, so this was our step number 3 and we are done with it. Now we are moving on to the step number 4 of our assignment, and what it is saying, database tables you imported contain the data that was incorrectly formatted. You will use the Power Query editor to reform the data. That's why I was holding while doing this step. I was afraid that he wants me to reform the data, but instructor didn't require in that step. Now it is requiring in the next step. What is that? Use Power Query editor to change the data type for the date field in the transaction query. Okay, use Power Query editor. What we have to do, we have to use Power Query editor to change the data type of the date field. How to use the Power Query editor, I will tell you. So this is the transaction table and we will just keep our cursor here, and then this will open the pane for the Power Query editor of the transaction table. Okay, just come here and go to the editing. You can also do it for this one. You can edit this one, but here we have to do it for transaction table. So click edit and it will take us to the Power Query editor of the transaction table. You can see here. Let's open this out, zoom this out, or maximize this out. And it is saying change the data type of the date field in the transaction query from date time to the date format. Okay, so it's already in date time format and we have to change it to the date format. This is the column, it's in the date format and we have to change it to the date time format. Okay, Just select that column is selected, go to the home tab of the transaction power query editor. This is the home tab. There are other tabs as well like transform, add column, view, but we have to be in the home tab, and then just come to the transform group, and this is the tab where we have to work. Click the down arrow and change the data type to the from date and time to date. It's already in date and time. You can see that it's date and time both are mentioned clearly. We have to then change it to the only date. There we go. Now it is converted, and purchase price and selling price feeds to the currency. Okay, this is the purchase price. We have to change it to the currency. This is the selling price, and we have to change it to the currency as well. There we go. You can see how to transform that data. You can clearly see that. Use get and transform power query. Now we have to load the data just. Okay, you can see now the data is updated here. When we loaded the data into our Excel sheet, it's now in the you can see here it is now in the date format, and they are all in the currency format. Sign will also be applied later. Okay, so use get and transform power query to load the broker info text file in the power query editor tab. Okay, so what's the next step? Next step is that use power query to load the come to the data tab from file, and this is our text file. We have to look for the text file. This is our text file, broker info. Just click the import, but we cannot load it directly. We have to load it into the power query editor, so we will do it from here. We will just click the transform data, and it will take us to the broker info power query editor. Okay, use the tab as delimiter. So we have to use tab as a delimiter. We have to split the column by tab. You can see this. Broker ID, name, address, city, state. There we go. And what we have to do, split the name column using space as a delimiter. Splitting the column at the leftmost occurrence. We have to do the splitting again. This was our first splitting using tab as a delimiter. Now here we have to use the space as a delimiter. So this is the name column, and we have to split the by using delimiter. Yes, we have to use the space at the leftmost occurrence. Okay, just click OK. So you can see this is the first column formed by the splitting of the column, and this is the second. Here is the heading name and here is the heading null. We have to rename both of these. What it is saying that rename the newly split column name 1 and name 2 first and last name. Okay, so this is the so first of all you need to select this option, use first row as a header. This is our first row. Now we will split this by delimiter using the tab. Okay, change that again. We will do this step in the party eliminator. Yes, look at this. Now we have to split this column again by delimiter using space at the leftmost occurrence. There we go. You can see the name 1 here, and we have to write first here, and then name 2 here. We have to write last here. Just press the enter, and what we have to do, we have to perform the splitting again, like split the city state column using comma as a delimiter. Okay, where is the city state column? It's already done. You can see this is the state and this is the city. It's already done. What do we have to do next? Use the power query to demonstrate the access space of the newly created city state 2 column. Split the city state 2 column using the space as a delimiter, then click or press the X located to the left of the step chain 3 in the applied box in the query setting. Rename the city state 1 column city state column 2 state, and the city state column zip code. Okay, so this is here we have to apply the splitting again. You have to split the by delimiter using space. Okay, there we go. You should delete this column. We have to remove this, so we have to rename this one as a city. Sorry, this is the city, it's already renamed. This is the state, and this is the zip code. You can see this. Close and load the transform data and then rename the worksheet brokers. We have to close and load from here. Just click that and it will be automatically loaded. You can see here. Now what we have to do, we have to rename the worksheet brokers. So this was our fifth step, and it was a little bit difficult one.